Hey collective, welcome to angel number 315. Welcome and welcome back. Listen, we're going to get into some collective general messages. Take the energy as it resonates. Just wanted to let you know that this is for entertainment purposes only. Also, this is a safe, positive, and protected space. So if you are joining today, leave the low vibrations and BS at the door. Please, 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 please. We're just here for clarity, alignment, tea, truth, divine messages, all the things, right? So we're not doing any drama, any low vibrations and trolling and all of that kind of stuff in the comments, all right? High vibes only. So let's get into these messages because I don't really even know what's gonna come out, right? I did shuffle these cards up and I do have some overall energy out here. You didn't see me pull that, but I also have some other cards out here as well. Okay, so something here about ascending, okay? This card came out in reverse. It is the ascending card, all right? As you can see, I can read it. Learning and expansion, transcending, preparing for union and new phase, but it's in reverse. At the bottom of this deck, we have death. Okay. Okay. Something here about some forward movement or something like that. This could be somebody wanting to siphon someone's energy, okay? A trickster energy, somebody who can be perceived as like a witch, like a dark witch, okay? With that magician in reverse and the Queen of Wands, Chariot, Death, yeah. It's definitely giving that. So it's almost giving like, you know, someone here could be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius, feminine energy, but don't have to be. This could be someone who is not ascending and maybe they're wondering why. I don't know. You know, just take the energy as it resonates because some people listen to the messages, some people don't, okay? But it's up to you. Ultimately, Nine of Wands here is the first card that came out, right? So this talks about pushing, keep pushing through. I've been feeling like a real strong, like, presence of, I'm trying to figure out how to even say it. It's like, almost like feeling like intuitive blockages is what I'm feeling. And I know this is somebody else's energy, okay? At the bottom of the deck now, we got the Knight of Swords, okay? So you could be someone who's looked at as like a wounded warrior, someone who pushes through, who have fought a lot of battles, and you know, you fight hard, you work hard to get what you want, you know, and you don't stop. Like, what I'm hearing is that you don't even look at it as like wounded warrior no more. Like you just keep going, okay? We got the Nine of Wands here, male or female. Okay, Page of Swords. A very smart, intelligent person. Okay. We got the Lovers is in reverse. The King of Wands in reverse. Six of Cups in reverse. What I'm feeling is that someone here, you probably are the type of person who give a lot and you don't really get that same I was hearing the word in my head and I don't know why it came out wrong. Okay, it's really agitating me. What's today? Today Wednesday? Okay. Today would be one of those Mercury retrograde type days, okay? So maybe you're like the kind of person who you push through, you give a lot, but you don't often get that back. Okay. And when you pull back and you take your energy back from people, it causes people to like spaz and wig out. Okay. I don't know, but it's given like, you know, it's definitely someone in your energy. Okay. I'm seeing a King of Wands here in the reverse. I already saw the Queen of Wands. So who I'm speaking to, you could be a feminine, but you know, it's just the energy. King of Wands is in the reverse. This could also be like not stepping into like leadership. But I did also see the Magician in reverse as well. To me, it seems like someone is stuck. Okay. You are very like quick. You know what I'm saying? You know, like you're quick to react. Maybe that could be a negative thing sometimes. But what I'm getting is that, you know, I don't know, maybe you could work in the beauty industry. You could be seen in the public. You could be like an influencer, or maybe this is something that you are thinking about pursuing. Okay, so the King of Wands talks about not really taking like leadership, not being proactive when it comes to, you know, your career or things that you have interest in that you want to pursue. Things that require your creative energy. In order to have these things to be able to produce something, because I do see the Six of Cups that's in reverse, that's like stuck in the past energy, right? King of Wands in the upright, this is someone who needs that emotion. They need those cups, right? So it's something here about being in love with what it is that you do. There's a spark that needs to be found. All right. And that way you will be able to, you know, continue moving forward on this Chariot. All right. Wow. We have Judgment out here. So there's some sort of awakening happening here. Maybe you're realizing something. Maybe it's in regards to your emotions. Maybe you could be someone who's overly emotion. You put a lot of emotion into a lot of different things that don't need emotion there. I'm just going to be real. I'm just going to be honest, okay? This could also be someone who's manipulative as well. So you do have to be careful with that. With that Magician in reverse card, that is like trickster energy. So, you know, it is some of that witchy stuff around here, okay? You could be like feeling like in regret about something. Maybe you went through a loss of some sort. We got the Two of Swords here. It could be a decision that needs to be made soon. Queen of Swords in reverse. Got the World card here. Something just don't really seem right in this situation. The World card talks about completing cycles. Okay. Maybe this Queen of Swords could be what I was talking about earlier when I was talking about having like some sort of intuitive block. Not using your intuition, especially with this intuitive KF card out here. I'm show you. Okay. That's the intuition card. The number 87 could be significant. So, this could be like a pregnancy or something like that. Don't have to be like a literal pregnancy. This could just be like someone who was having a new beginning. Okay. The Lover's card is in reverse. So that's like someone completing like a love situation. I feel like whoever I'm talking to, you're definitely okay with ascending in reverse. Someone is not using their intuition when it comes to like work, career, love, right? Work, career, love. And just it could just be anything in general, but more specifically, it's just like when you pour into yourself, then you're able to when your cup flows over, you can pour into other people, right? So with these cups that's in reverse, the Six of Cups reverse with the Queen of Swords in reverse, King of Wands in reverse, it looks like there's some like it's a dire need to focus on your stability, right? Because it's something going on with the love department that may not be somebody's season at this moment. So it's just like, focusing more so on your stability, your foundation, things of that sort. If you're like a younger person, focusing more on what things you would like to do. If there's something that you thought about but you just never took action on, this might be a good time to do it. Okay. Because we do have Queen of Cups that's in reverse when it comes to love, right? And so whoever I'm talking to, you could be the type of person who self-sabotages because these situations, it requires you to feel yourself first, okay? In order to have like, real love. Queen of Wands. See, this is the Queen of Wands that you are. You know what I'm saying? I could be talking to a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio person or feminine energy that has fire in their chart. This could be a fire sign with water in the chart. Just take it as it resonates. But the feminine and masculine energy in this energy is not in balance, is what I'm seeing. So there's a need to like balance that out so you can manifest what you really want, right? This is how you do it yourself. Let's see, instead of relying on like love as like a boost, a lot of times when you get in relationships or there's people that you like, you definitely want to have like a standard. It should be a standard, right? So let's say if I'm talking to someone who's younger, more inexperienced, you definitely want to, I don't know, it's not even about like a relationship between man and woman or man and man, woman and woman, whatever the case may be. It really is about surrounding yourself around people who have the same interests, people who can mentor you. So these are people who usually have more than you, okay? Or they're just more experienced in whatever kind of field or anything like that you want to be in. I've always heard like if you're like the smartest one in the room, then you typically, you want to just change rooms, right? So this is like healing yourself, is giving healing, is giving pouring into yourself, right? Definitely that. I hope nobody's in the energy of like sacrificing people, because that's not good. Even if you haven't reaped like karma from that, it's still like, you just never know like when that stuff is about to come back on you. And that's just period. So a lot of people have a habit of thinking like, they can just be out here just living however, doing whatever. They never got caught, and then, it catches up to them. And a lot of times, if people do change their lives around and then they still forget about it. Years later, they have kids, and then now the kids are suffering, and it makes it harder on you in the long run, right? So it's just best to kind of like clear those things out now. If I'm talking to a younger person, yeah, everything is fine in reverse. So everything is not fine. You could be someone who always feels like it is fine, right? But this is coming out of like heavy betrayal or feeling betrayed. Okay, just because the feeling of betrayal is there doesn't mean that it's necessarily a betrayal, but something here about healing your heart. So this could be like some sort of deep trauma. Okay, and that could be why the Queen of Cups is in reverse. There's definitely some things that needs to be addressed within in the heart space. Okay, so I'm seeing like heart chakra misalignment. Okay, not able to feel fulfilled in life because the inability to, you know, pour into yourself and really give yourself the attention and care that you need. We have strength here. Yep. High Priestess reverse. So this is basically saying, like, you know, once you heal yourself, then you build up the strength. You build up the strength to be able to push forward and get those blessings, get those relationships, get those business contracts, get those, you know, whatever the case may be, right? But not stepping up to the plate, not taking, you know, responsibility for, you know, your role in it, or being proactive, things like that. That's gonna keep you trapped in the past, right? So we have the High Priestess that came out in reverse, and this is right next to the Healer card. Okay. All right, so let's keep going. We're gonna clarify this High Priestess in reverse. What do we need to know? Hierophant here. So whether this is like a connection, like in a group, maybe you have some sort of role, you know, authority in a group. This could even be a relationship, like a marriage. This could be a family, this could be contract, or whatever the case may be. What I'm feeling like is that there's some sort of like reckless action that somebody took. Somebody was left out in the cold. Somebody could have been, you know, indulging in some like gossip or like spell work when it comes to somebody's work, somebody's career, somebody's focus. And then we had the Ace of Cups that's right behind that, and the Tower. King of Swords is right behind that, and that is in reverse. Wow. So if this is a masculine that I'm talking to, somebody actually could be like losing sleep over a situation. Somebody could be worried, stressed out, depressed even. Why is this though? Is it about some heartbreak or something like that? I do see real love out here. So now I'm just feeling like the presence of a man, really. Yeah, because the Ace of Wands is here in reverse. Yeah, somebody must have broken up with somebody, or maybe this is like the end of a business agreement. Maybe an event got canceled or something like that. Or will be. We got the Seven of Cups that's in reverse. Ah, got it. Somebody feel like that they really went towards like the wrong situation, and now they've gotten themselves into something that they cannot come out of. With the Hanged One in reverse, that's basically the Hangman card, right? Someone is in a position that they're really uncomfortable with. Not really having that connection to like divine, the higher source, the most high, right? And then the situations that's going on around you, it really don't make things no better. I don't know if somebody got somebody pregnant here. We got the Sun, the Knight of Wands, that's in reverse, and the Nine of Pentacles here. The Three of Pentacles is right behind that. But it's a Wheel of Fortune right behind that. So maybe somebody thought like, you know, there was a Wheel of Fortune ready. It's giving insurance policy. It's giving like, okay, if this is a man, maybe a man was thinking that they would get somebody pregnant and that would secure their future, their whatever the case may be, which makes sense because with that Page of Swords, that's someone I picked up as being someone that's younger, right? So this is like a real like young, immature kind of way of thinking. But, you know, we've all been there before. Eventually, if this is someone that's older, eventually you have to grow out of that way of thinking, right? Because what I'm seeing here is that you could have been someone that you have a very stable foundation, or this is what you had. You know how to attract opportunities and things of that sort. You probably could work with people, hire people, own things. But something here about you taking some sort of offer or accepting something less than what you really deserve in a situation. I don't know if you have like a baby mama or something like that. I feel like I was getting ready to say something and I forgot. My train of thought kind of, it happens. Okay. So what is this worry? Four of Cups in reverse came back out. Four of Cups in reverse. What is this? These is the only cups I see out here. It's the Six of Cups in reverse and the Four of Cups in reverse. That's definitely like an imbalance in energy right there. Okay, so whoever you decided to come together with this Two of Cups situation, maybe y'all could be fighting a lot or something like that. And this is going on behind the scenes. This is what you need to actually come out of, okay, with these 10 swords in reverse. Somebody could have betrayed somebody in a situation, and there's just a need to come out of that, right? You want to heal past that kind of energy right there, because that's what's stopping your manifestations. Yeah, because things seem to be going slow here, right? Let me see real quick, because we got the Fool card, the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress in reverse, and the Seven of Swords. This is like somebody really trying to come towards somebody in a Knight of Pentacles, right? This is somebody that's hardworking and dedicated, but this is someone who hasn't really quite achieved what they really wanted to achieve yet. You know, they just kind of, it's given like, you know, people who have the potential to be greater, but then, you know, they still have work to do. It's like you have the idea, you can see it, right? But it hasn't manifested yet. So it's given like, you know, taking action on securing that spot that you thought was going to be something stable, but then it turns out to be like a slow moving energy or something like that. The Empress is in reverse. Queen of Pentacles. It's weird because the Queen of Pentacles can be looked at somebody as a motherly figure, and the Empress is in reverse as well. So that's somebody that's not a mother. So it kind of goes with that pregnancy energy that I was feeling. What's the Four of Cups reverse here? I think what people need to realize is that a lot of times people feel like tarot is something that's demonic, but if you know, you know, right? So there's higher forces in the world. Everybody knows that. There's things that you can't see that you can feel, right? But these types of situations are very sacred in a sense that it has to be handled with care. You just can't handle these types of situations any kind of way. Why? Because our roles here are much more different. It's more different from the average person that you would come across or meet, you know, in the world. Kind of like a situation with a military person and a civilian. Okay, there's a difference. Their authority, their ranking is different from just a civilian. It could also be kind of like when you're driving on the highway, you see signs and you see construction and you see, okay, if you were to injure one of these people, you are going to jail for sure. Or you're going to be fined an enormous amount of money that you probably can't even fathom, right? It's a reason for that, right? Because that separates the civilians from the people who are actually more higher ranking. These people that are doing construction on this here main way, these are people that's really important to, you know, facilitate the perpetuate the ongoing of humanity, right? Even though it seems like something that's small, it is a very big task, right? When you're working for the government, any kind of entity or things like that, it's very, very important. But I'm kind of feeling that way when it comes to these divine contracts. Okay, it's not really like a contract. It's more so like a covenant. And this is what darker forces tend to be more confused about, because they feel like it's just something that it was just drawn up and, you know, we just gonna type it out and we just gonna, you know, skim over it real quick and we just gonna have you sign it. No. Okay. When it comes to the divine, you really have to, all right, because you're gonna be held accountable, and that's just period. I forget where I was even going with that. I feel like it's gonna come back. But here we got someone who accepted less than what they deserved from a situation. So it's just like someone didn't really take something seriously, right? It's given like someone didn't understand the task. Because what happened here in the situation is that somebody really saw somebody as abundant. Okay, somebody looked at somebody as more of an investment because maybe somebody was younger than somebody, or maybe somebody had something that somebody else didn't have, or they felt like they had something that they didn't have. Really without doing much research, honestly, is what I'm feeling. Okay, because this Knight of Wands is in reverse. This is someone who moves very quickly, very recklessly as well. Okay, with these Nine of Pentacles and all this pregnancy energy here. Okay, with the sun, this is a baby that's on that horse. Okay, it's a very turbulent situation now, right? Because someone then got themselves stuck. So what I'm saying is, in these types of situations with these contracts or covenants, you definitely want to make the best decision. You can't just be out here just la 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 la, thinking that, you know, it's you're gonna get some sort of level up. People think that things just come quickly and things like that, and it's just a no. Even with these jobs out here, like let's say government jobs, you still have to do the interview that, you know, everybody does interviews when they go for a job. But not only that, you have to be tested. And when you're tested, you have to be tested on your knowledge, what you know up here, how you will act in a situation in the physical. And of course, they're going to watch you, right? So that's just expected. But to who I'm talking to, this could be someone who's younger, may not know, right? Just because a person is a particular age doesn't mean that they've hit those milestone markers that they should have hit in life, right? So to me, it seems like someone moved too fast. They lacked the ability to use discernment when it comes to making wise decisions that could affect, whether it's having a positive impact or a negative impact on whatever the situation is. Because to me, it seems like someone doesn't really know if this is love, like a relationship, or if this is like a work type situation. And the energy gets crossed, it gets confusing. Spirit doesn't really pick up on what it is that you want. So you have to make sure you're in alignment, okay? And with the cups being out here, all the cups are in reverse, okay? Even the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is in reverse, all right? I don't see not one cup that's in the upright. And that's the problem. Also, the Queen of Swords is in reverse. Paired with here, we got the Two of Wands or Two of Swords. It's a lot of worrying. It's a lot of swords, period. And then there's definitely some healing that needs to be done, right? Because some people don't look at things as like an issue, but like if you're like recklessly, like, you know, having sex with people, or let's just say you're not, it's not even all about sex. Let's just say you confuse business and pleasure, okay? Because we are talking about love, and we are talking about a foundation in businesses, and you know how to build the foundation on a steady, right, foundation. Some people just meet people, and this is what it feels like. It feels like someone met someone through like maybe like a leisure activity. Maybe it was like a mutual interest, like you just met a person out in public or something somewhere, and then it kind of turned into something that is more professional, but not professional, if that makes sense. Okay. So right now, what I can tell you is that this situation is under judgment. Okay. I could be speaking to some people here too that have closed the cycle out on whatever kind of situation this is already. You could be somebody, whoever I'm talking to, that has ascended past whatever this situation is going on, because I'm picking up on like 3 people. I'm picking up on like a couple. Queen of Wands, King of Wands reverse. And then there's a Queen of Cups out here and a Queen of Swords as well. But I'm picking up on at least 3 people, right? So what I'm getting is that I'm feeling like one person is someone who's getting out of this energy, whatever this energy may be, moving forward, ascending, and then there are other people or somebody else that's not ascending. Okay. And I honestly don't even really know if that's the goal for some people, because some people like just keep doing the same things over and over again. So like it looked like somebody here, they love to be dark. They like to continue to use sex as like a way to, you know, manifest things. You know, instead of tapping into those other resources, tapping into those other ways, learning new things, staying open when it comes to your heart to, you know, learning new things so that you can ascend properly, right? Because this is not just about money in these situations in the world, okay? If you can obtain things without even having money, then wouldn't that be better? I don't know. I'm just the messenger, okay? So 4 of Cups here, that's in reverse. This is like, okay, somebody accepting things, something less than what they deserve in a situation. So now what, Spirit? The Ace of Swords. Somebody may need to speak up about something. What I'm feeling is that someone is just like really going through it mentally. Could be stressed out, could have anxiety really bad. Some sort of mental issue is what I'm picking up on. And whatever the situation is, it definitely kind of just made it worse, okay? But I'm picking up on somebody who didn't speak up when it was time to. And these are the things that we're talking about, okay? So whoever I'm talking to, like, you might be worried about somebody judging you or something like that based off what you say. But, I mean, nothing can really be, like, hidden. Like, you'll feel like it's hidden, but it's not, okay? Because chances are whoever this person is that you're trying to go towards, they definitely probably already know, okay? I don't know why I'm feeling like I need to say that. Because I'm feeling like it's somebody here that possibly want to keep their business to themselves. Possibly somebody who could have spoken too soon in situations. Possibly pillow talked, you know. It happens in situations. But you just got to move forward because, I mean, you could be feeling one way one minute and another way the next minute, and that's normal, right? It's about the energy, okay? So when people get so twisted and tied up and caught up on like mundane things, trying to show up in a certain kind of way to appear to be this type of person, that's not realistic, because people know that people's energies are fluid and it changes. One minute I could be feeling real feminine like, and the next minute I feel masculine. Okay. And that's just what it is, you know. And the way I try to read the cards is I try to read the cards as if this is all one person's energy instead of trying to include other people in the energy here. So I do see a little masculine energy here, but it's in reverse. It's very distorted. When it comes to that fire, that passion, right? So taking more of a leadership type of approach, that will help in a situation. Something here about intuition as well. The Queen of Swords is in reverse. I feel like whatever this is getting ready to come out, whatever that is. It could be like a sacrifice that somebody made or a decision that somebody needs to make in order for judgment to be had in a situation. Okay. Let's see what the advice is in the situation. Here we go. Cards just flying everywhere, okay? What's the advice for collective here? All right, we have the King of Pentacles here. This is somebody that they work hard, okay? That could have been like your past energy. Definitely someone who's attractive or knows how to attract. Like I was saying, I did kind of touch on that a little bit earlier throughout the reading. Then we have Page of Cups here. It looked like this Page of Cups, this is somebody who's like really fascinated with this fish. Like she doesn't really understand what this fish is, or, you know, the type of fish that it is, or, you know, maybe she's just surprised that this fish is flying out of this cup like that. I don't know. Okay. But it's talking about creative energy here. It's definitely giving like someone who has this creative spark, this energy flow, right? And it's about, you know, building on top of that. Making sure you stay open-hearted, keep an open heart, right? And approach situations with that open heart, but not in a like naive kind of way. A lot of people will mistake this energy though. They'll mistake that energy and it comes across as like being like someone who's green or immature. You know, I've heard people say different things about adults who have that childlike energy, but that's a good thing to have, because People who don't have that energy, those are people who are like Debbie Downers, negative Nancy's, just people who like are very negative about situations. Like they don't understand like the creativity of it all. They don't understand like how you get inspired. They don't really actually take the time and sit there and believe in themselves, right? And find that inspiration that sparks like that creative juice, that creative flow. On the other hand, you have people who have this hidden like kind of page of cups kind of energy about themselves. Like you'll be surprised how many people out here are painters. Like in their spare time, you think they go home and they have a drink, or they, you know, go to the club or go to the bars and lounges and all the things, right? But these are people who go home and they like to paint, or they like to read books and educate themselves. People who like to talk about aliens and all the things, right? Just different types of things, the things that people say that people are weird about. And I think it's only weird to certain people because people have a lot of childhood wounds. You have a lot of people out here who haven't actually been able to take the time to resonate and sit in that energy of being a child. And even if you are that kind of person who really, you didn't really have too much of a childhood, I still feel like this is the opportunity to explore that, right? So then we have Hierophant. That could be, like I said, like a contract. It could be a title, a position, a role within a group, or organization, or a job, you know. So this is just saying like it's just a lot of emphasis being put on this Page of Cups. It's like you're not yet at the Knight of Cups, which is somebody who takes the action. You're just still like, you know, kind of like receiving the messages. If you're somebody who's like intuitive person, like along the lines of like a reader or something of that sort, you possibly might read messages or listen to messages online. You could be the type of person who you want to accelerate, you want to excel, you want to rank up, right? Because you would like more protection in life. The Page of Cups is not going to get you where you need to be. It's a good start though. So the Page of Cups is like, okay, so now it's time to put the action in. So if you're making, you know, doing paintings at home and doing it on a leisure for your own enjoyment or entertainment purposes, okay, enlighten or brighten someone else's world. Like look into how to replicate those images so you can sell it or something like that, and let other people enjoy it and buy it as artwork. And that's a good foundation for like even leveling up and getting to this Hierophant energy. Okay, because if the Page of Cups is in reverse, that's somebody who doesn't have creative spark. It's like, you know, when you go to start that car, you want to hear that ignition turn over, you want to hear that car, but if it's not giving that, it's like the spark. Okay. I don't know, like I'm not very good at cars, but you know, I may have worked at like a little, you know, plant one time, a car plant or two, and you know, built cars, but I still don't know nothing about a car, you know what I'm saying? But also what we have here, because I need to show y'all these cards. All right, so we have in Pisces, who I'm talking to. You could be a Pisces, or you may have just have it highly aspected in your charts. We have the second house, so you might want to look up second house. It talks about what you want and getting what you need. We were just talking about that, right? Jupiter energy is significant. Learn or teach. Be positive about grow and expand. Listen, all the things that I was just channeling, right? Because we have ascension in reverse. This needs to be upside down, okay? And then we have mask, pretending and delude, gaslight and personify. I don't know if somebody here is like, you know, you might look at other people and you say, yeah, I want to embody that. So you try to do it how they do it because you feel like you could do it. But, you know, try to put your own spin on it. Try to see where you can go. If the energy even feels like it's for you, if this is something that you resonate with, you know. You just have to feel more natural when you do it. And this could also, you know, heal your heart. Okay? That doing that can heal your heart. We do have great grandmother energy here. So this could be like a channel message from someone's great grandmother. We have auntie energy out here too. Also a great grandfather could be significant. We do have scammer vibes. That came out with baby daddy. Okay? Higher level of commitment. And this doesn't have to be just like a love situation, a relationship, right? We were just talking about commitments. I'm so sorry. I tried to talk shit about you and he put me back in my place. See, this sounds like someone in the background is concerned about a relationship. Like this could be like someone you used to talk to or someone that somebody used to talk to and they're not even interested in this person. Possibly. I have a sex addiction. Whoa. And then we have truth spell. All right. Physical slave, control, restricted by others, laws, systems, and individuals. So somebody here is a slave to laws, individuals, and systems. It says, I stalk your page every day. Somebody wants to give you pleasure, okay? And this could be a same-sex situation. We got love bombing. Okay, so somebody turns the love up and then they pull back, you know, and they do enough to keep you, you know, give you just enough before they pull back, right? And then we have somebody made a voodoo doll of you. I don't know, y'all might want to check into that. I'm just saying, okay, make sure y'all stay protected out here in these streets. All right, so collective, those were the messages. I hope that you know, they were able to help you. And make sure you subscribe, right? And until next time, peace.